Let me just make sure that we're recording. This is so stupid, man.
It's fucking epic, dude. I feel so real.
Alright, we're here. Welcome, Owen.
Hello.
Don't wait me look way at the camera.
Oh, hi. This is
Alright.
my first real time in VR.
Yeah, what do you think about the place?
Is this what real life looks like?
I guess we should
Radical.
start off with what is this? Do you have any questions about what the show is?
So I guess what's the deal?
Alright, well, I thought it would be funny to make a fucking, talk show. I'm moving a lot in my chair, goddamn.
Of course.
And I was like, you know what? I need a topic to talk about while we sit here. There we go. It's gonna... Yeah, that's even worse. All right, there we go. So I wanted a topic to talk about, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
when I made this set thing, as you can see, you haven't complained about us being out in the open yet. You don't care, do you?
We ball,
We ball.
Is
Yeah.
sometimes life takes you in this direction where you're in a fucking void,
Yeah.
but we ball.
No, okay, so I wanted to make, when I made this map, I was like, damn, I've been unproductive today. I felt really bad, right? And I was
I
like,
get you, yeah.
I was scrolling through the YouTube shorts, and I was like, this sucks. Fucking, like, I see everybody, like, doing something, and I'm like, this sucks. Like, I want to do something. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's ball. So I just, I made all of this in, like, a day.
It is the productive value.
Yeah, productive value, that's the name of the show. I kind of want, like, I was not artists on the show, but like people who make something, and we just
Real
talk.
ones.
Yeah, we just talk about stuff, I guess.
Right.
And the people will see, as I'm learning, music and whatnot, and editing and whatnot, I'll improve the studio.
Of course,
So-
yeah. The Always Sunny on their pilot, they had schmeckles, and that's all they worked off of. That's real. You can Google that. Look
Yeah.
up Always Sunny schmeckles. They had 5. That's all they had to work off of.
So I want to see where it goes, and people can see the evolution as the show goes on, I guess.
First.
So Owen, you're a man of yokai watch.
I'm a man. Yes, exactly.
What's it like making videos on YouTube? What's even your dream?
Guy, what I like to do, because I'm sure it's pretty obvious. Like, if you've seen some of this stuff, is I guess I kind of like to mix. I like Sunny. That's so like duh, but so I kind of want to like mix kind of those like a live action bit, but I want it to feel like Sunny in some way if I do live action bits in the middle of the videos, because like a lot of game reviewers, I guess, or just reviewers in general, it's kind of a cliche kind of live action bit where it's like, oh, I gotta fight my evil clone, or I gotta defeat the evil game, or something like that. And those are fine. Like I love AVGN. I think, and the irate gamers can be funny, and in some way. So it definitely had some sort of charm, but
You think it's run
I
its
don't know,
course?
not necessarily. I just kind of wanted to make it feel a lot more like a sitcom, I guess, when I do my live action bits. No time for question, follow my plan instead. Something, no matter what that may be. Take my lead, I'll set you free. Follow me, set me free. Sonic Adventure 2, I gotta burn that on a Dreamcast disc, actually. The problem with Sonic Adventure on Steam is that it's a botched port of a botched port of a botched port of a botched remaster.
Alright,
I shit you not. It's so stupid how I fucked that up.
I mean, I thought of making a Sonic video, like the Spyro one. I made the Spyro video, guys. Go watch it.
I'll watch that now.
Yeah, almost at 800 views. Is it? I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I think so. I know
Yeah.
the Puss in Boots one's like midway through 400.
Oh yeah, no, it's at like 500 now. I was like, I could make a Sonic video, but like, it is big. It is a big IP.
Oh yeah, dude, like, fuck, how much is this? So you just have the original Sonic games, then you have Sonic 3 Knuckles, then you have Sonic 3D Blast, then you have Sonic gets AIDS and dies, and then for your racing video, you did Sonic All Star Racing, right?
I thought of it. I don't know if I should pull the trigger yet and do it. I just don't. I feel like if I am gonna make a Sonic video in the future, I don't think it's gonna matter too much. It's only one game,
Yeah,
but I definitely want to do the Disney game, and then
that one looks like it's gonna be terrible.
I've played Flintstones Bedrock Racing. I've played a few other games. I think we'll be fine.
Like it's gonna be bad funny. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, dude,
hopefully.
oh my God, you know South Park. I'm not sure if you're doing South Park Racing.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
It's fucking terrible. So instead of like you know how it's like, oh, you do like 3 laps.
Hmm.
Instead, what you do is, you know, let's say there's a map right here. You have to go to point A, point 1, 2, 3, 4 in order,
Yeah.
right? And they can mix and mingle. But if you go to like 1 and then 3, 3 doesn't count. You have to go back to 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then you have a lap. It's so dumb. It's like you're driving through a town, really.
Yeah.
It's not like you're driving through a racetrack.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's not good.
You know, I played the for my video. I played the Simpsons Road Rage. I was kind of upset when I realized how not good it was. It was just Taxi Driver, I'd say. It's just Taxi.
Yeah, it's. I think they almost got like they were getting sued for it, right? Because it was basically Crazy Taxi.
It was also the problem was the loading times on the PS2 are just so fucking slow.
Right.
There's this one point where it's like a 45-second, like you get 45 seconds like as a timer, and then you have to like run something over or whatever, and you know during that timer. The problem, however, is if you fail, you have to restart the whole thing, and it has to load it all again, and that took like 40 seconds itself.
Oh my
Lord! So you're sitting there like, I guess I'll just wait another full minute for this 40-second mission to load, and yep, thumbs up. I just quit. I did play some of it though, but I was like, this is a taxi game. I think if you're the first one to make that kind of a game, it's fine. If you're gonna like be influenced by such a format, I guess, I think you should add on to it at least.
Yeah, because like I feel like once you make Crazy Taxi or a game like Crazy Taxi, like what's really the point of making a game?
Yeah, there's no really. It's a simple game, so I get it if it's older arcade games and whatnot are simple usually. Just a taxi game in general, it's like if you've played one, you've kind of played them all.
You've played them all, yeah. I feel like if we were gonna add like some sort of thing, I feel like it would kind of be like a Yakuza-esque mini game inside of an already existing game. I feel like that's kind of the
definitely.
only way to put Crazy Taxi or Crazy Taxi things on newer hardware. Speaking of fucking Yakuza, I hate Shenmue.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's Good Night America. I feel like that. Ugh.
You have a problem with Shenmue?
I like the first. The thing is that I like the first 2 halves, but like the last, like the third, is terrible because you're forklift driving for the whole time, pretty much. Like everything about the game is tedious. But I guess I liked the first 2 halves when it was tedious because I had a world to explore a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, it's fun.
I was able to, like,
yeah, it's fun for
Talk
a while.
about, and now I'm stuck in the harbor forklifting the whole time.
I've become a wagey. I had the same problem with Tomb Raider because you know I was gonna make a Tomb Raider video instead of
Oh
a
my
Spyro one. You can
Yeah, I do remember that.
try to guess why it's not at, huh? The first game, it is ass. The controls are so horrible. It took me a while to figure out how to save properly. So when I like tried to, because I started saving in the emulator that they gave me, it just broke the game, and I was like, uh-oh.
Gotta save in the real world,
Yeah.
in the real game.
Yeah. And like, just imagine Spyro 1. I don't remember how many hours it took for me to play the game through it, but probably like, maybe, I wouldn't say 10 hours, but you know, I was exploring a bit. But like, I had several hours of like, I think it was 500 gigabyte of Tomb Raider footage.
Holy shit!
On the first game.
On the first game?
Yeah, not even halfway. It was just that many fucking tries and like repeats and crashes and I do think on the emulator they don't have, it's like a checkpoint, you know, like how games have like save points sometimes instead of
Yeah.
like they don't let you save in a random spot, it has to be a certain point.
Yeah.
I think Tomb Raider 1 has that, but it doesn't in the emulator, so that was fine because I could just, before I entered a room, I was like, okay, if I die, I'm just gonna load and load and load, yeah. So that happened a lot. But do you think that kind of checkpoint saving thing is like that? It's kind of bad, isn't it?
I don't think necessarily. I think it really depends on the type of game. Like if it's fucking like an RPG and like you can like there are areas where you can't save, I think that's fine. Like how Persona does it, I think that's fine. Where you have specific save rooms, but if you're not in a dungeon, you can save wherever. But I think because like if it's something like a horror game or a survival horror game like Resident Evil, I feel like you kind of have to have save points because then, well, where's the scariness? You know, it's like,
no, definitely.
oh, if I die here, I could just load in the room behind me. You know.
I don't remember something like that specifically, other than when I had to play Spyro.
I don't think it makes sense in Spyro, really.
No,
Have
it's
save room.
it's. I mean, like most of them are collectathons, so it's like you're not really scared of dying unless you're a wee baba running around going. But like in the reboot series, right? You know, the fucking Legend of Spyro. In the final game, it was very cool because they had like some save points that were pretty decent. I mean, as a fucking kid, I didn't know how to save properly, so I had to.
I do not know how to either.
You didn't know?
No, when I was like playing Pokemon as a fucking 4-year-old.
Pokemon? You couldn't save in Pokemon? Even I did that, and I never had the game before.
I was 4. Leave me alone.
Oh, you were 4. Okay, well that makes more sense. Oh, I was gonna ask you, what was the first thing you ever made, like production-wise, like a drawing, animation, like?
I think okay, so in 4th grade, I would draw comics.
Oh, okay.
Like me and my friends being superheroes and shit like that.
Ah, yes, he's American.
And then in 5th grade, this is real, okay? I mentioned this in my Yokai Watch video, but I have a whole fucking fan fiction of me and pretty much everybody I knew at the time, everyone that I was friends with at the time, in the Yokai Watch world. It has me, it has Quentin, I don't think it has anybody else you know. Anyways, so like it spanned like three books. Three books, I tell you. And they're still in my room, and they're really badly drawn. I mean,
how old were you again? Like 10?
I was like 10, yeah.
Yeah. I my first things, I think this is around the time the regular show came out, right? And they all, and also my family gave me like a camera, not phone camera, right? Not the DLR or whatever. You know, the fucking like 2000s fucking like photo camera. And Lego animations were like stop motion was really big at the time, right?
I did that too.
So I made a bunch of like fighting stuff. I made a lot of stop motion animation and whatnot about fighting and whatnot. Even on my DSi, you know, when I had a camera. Like,
yeah.
This is so stupid. I was like, how can I make it look like animation? And you know, like how it scrolls through like an album with like music and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did that, and so I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool movie. I think if somebody like was like, you should do more of this as a kid, right? Like sign up for a course or whatnot. I would definitely be doing something else than this. But you know, I just remember one specific moment in my life. A regular show. I really fucking love regular show.
You did, especially with that one video that you showed me.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna mention that the fucking hey you. I don't like your girlfriend. Oh wait, no.
Regular show Yowie.
Yeah, Yowie on YouTube. I was a little baby. I was like, these are cool drawings. I like the song, right? I was like, this is awesome. But the problem is, I don't know how I did it as a kid, but I told you the story before. But like, I drew, I think it was Mordecai, asking Benson if he was a Jew, and you know me as a kid, right? Don't look at the camera like that. Don't.
Dunderhead, I tell you, Dunderhead.
Hello. But I find it funny because I was like, I showed it to my mom.
Oh my god.
Like, can you imagine a 10-year-old kid like standing, like looking at a piece of paper that he drew, taking like pictures or whatever, like filming with his camera, and then going, Benson, are you a Jew? And I showed it to my mom, and I think she was I don't know what it was. I think she was either going out the door or like she just showed up, and I was like, I want to show my mommy this. So I walked up, I was like, hey mommy, take a look. And then she looks at it and she's like, oh, that's cool. And then she walks away. That's the whole story. I didn't expect her to, you know, in hindsight, I don't expect her to, you know, praise me or whatever.
I was a wee lad. I was making shitty flip notes.
I did that too. My grandpa showed me, and I was like, I could do this.
Yeah, but I didn't have any underlying themes in any of my flip notes.
What the fuck do you mean underlying themes?
I seem a little silly.
No, he is silly.
I was gonna be Leon's Kennedy, but no.
We're not that good at VR chat yet. We'll have to ask Graylin. I told Graylin about the show. He wants to be on.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, we have like 2 seats on the couch, so I don't see why not.
My new imaginary friend Markiplier is joining us.
Markiplier, welcome to the show, Markiplier.
What do you have to say? I love Productive Value. It's my favorite show. Thank you, Markiplier. Dead now.
No, you killed the man on my set. You get what you fucking deserve. What do you think is necessary in a script? Because it, you know, it depends obviously on what it is, but
For like a TV show or?
Yeah, like a TV show.
I mean, I guess from what I know, I think you just have to have the characters be consistent yet, like I feel like, because here's the thing is that in some shows, because I like comedy, so like I don't really care about something if I don't find it funny. Obviously there are exceptions, you know, duh.
But would you say there's like jokes that, well, not unacceptable, but like they obviously, you know, they're like, oh, they're supposed to be funny because they're jokes, right? But like, would you say there's like, you laugh at, oh shit, you laugh at it, you don't laugh at it, and it's like this joke was bad? Because I feel like if you say a joke that you don't laugh at, it's more like, I get that it's a joke and it's not bad. It's just that I didn't laugh at it.
Yeah,
but if it's a bad joke, it's something like Brickleberry.
Oh my god. Actually, I do have some things. A little bit back to the script, and then I'll go back to excuse me. But I think it's fine being edgy. I think you just have to be smart about it, because if you're being edgy for the sake of being edgy, that's just try hard, you know?
Yeah. Because it's kind of, isn't it, like, wouldn't people say like jokes are kind of meant to be not offensive, but like it's always been on like
something.
Yeah, because
a little pushing of the envelope.
Yeah, it's kind of like hard to like make fun of something that, you know, that's like wholesome or whatnot.
Definitely.
Yeah. But what was that about the script?
I think being predictable is very bad.
Yeah,
I don't. No. It's definitely a problem, but
yeah,
like,
it is.
I'm definitely predictable.
Yeah, no, because I was watching this Korean movie yesterday actually, or 2 movies actually. It's called Along with the Gods, I think, or Along with Gods. It's you know, it's a show about afterlife or whatever. It's like this guy who dies a heroic death, and then he gets ascended to heaven, or he has to go through trials, right? Because that's like Buddhism things or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I would not say it was predictable, because like it kind of constantly threw curveballs at you. Not to the point where it's like fucking hell, what's going on? But you know, that's also a thing you should watch out for, I guess. It's curveballs.
You have to be very, like, it has to make sense.
Yeah, no,
right?
definitely.
Because if you're throwing a curveball, because you think it would take it in an interesting direction, then we ball. But if you're throwing a curveball, fuck, where am I going with this? Family Guy.
Yeah, because it also hasn't. Oh yeah, a joke. It can't last too long because I feel like a lot of Family Guy jokes, maybe nowadays especially, is you know how they come up
It
with a
will linger
joke.
on.
Yeah, like it's like that one time, blah 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 blah, right? And it's like, haha, I get the joke, right? But then it's like, or like the one time, and they keep adding on to it, and it's like, you're not gonna fucking get two punchlines in one. Like, come on.
I think adding on to it can be fine. Just the way that Family Guy does it, they don't add on to anything. What they do is they explain the joke and then do it. And that's like, honest to God, my biggest pet peeve with Family Guy jokes is that they will not just let it happen. They have to I keep dinking my
Yeah, they have to
fucking
like
armpits.
fucking dig it in. Like, did you laugh yet? Did you fucking laugh yet?
Yeah, dig it. Like, I think the biggest example of this, right? So it's Brian's birthday, right? Joe gives him a stick. Brian says, "Oh, I don't think anything bad will happen after obtaining this very large stick." And then what's he can't get through the door frame. It's like, "Oh my God, I couldn't have seen that fucking coming." Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I know two ways that they could have fixed this. Two things. One, or actually a handful of things. One, Brian gives up and he's like, "Oh, he does it." Keep in mind, they either don't say, or actually no, they don't say the stick thing. I don't think anything bad will happen. Just cut that out completely. Brian goes to the door frame. He gets stuck, and then he just kind of drops the stick and defeatedly walks away. Right? It's not great, right?
Yeah.
And then two, you have the stick be so strong that it breaks the door frame.
That could work. Yeah, no, I see that.
Because Family Guy is all about that kind of like off the wall. Like the rules can be bent.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it makes for a good show. Pretty much.
That's the thing about comedy, though. Is like rules can fuck like the whole script and whatnot can go off the hook as long as it's funny.
Exactly.
But you can't abuse it because at that point you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you have to have at least a little bit of consistency over with the characters. Because even the Simpsons household is fucked. sometimes Elisa's room will be in the backyard, or will be facing the backyard. Sometimes it'll be facing the front yard. Front yard. It really depends on what makes sense for the time, and that's fine. You know, it works. Like any Simpsons heads know of this room, the Rumpus Room. It's a room that just exists or doesn't exist, just depending on if they need it or not. You know, which they rarely do. Back to like what I like about a joke, what I don't like about, or like a joke that'll make me laugh, a joke that won't make me laugh but isn't bad, and then a joke that is bad. I guess a joke that'll make me laugh, I think, is absurd stupidity. A little bit. It has to be that kind of like insane stupidity, because I've shown you Pepe Sylvia is pretty good, but that's more absurd. Pirate Door, fucking Pirate Door. You know, if you've seen the clip of Pirate Door, Charlie mistakes private door for pirate door and thinks that a pirate lives in there. It is so dumb that I think it's funny, right?
Yeah, no.
You know, the thing is that it has to be a believable amount of absurd. It can't be too off the walls, because if it's too off the walls, then it feels a little you have to find this like very, very fine line between not absurd and too absurd. Because if you find the right line between, like, it can be like, I feel like it has to be believable, but also I feel like it has to be some flavor of believable. Like, oh, this could happen because of whatever, but also like the events. It has to be. It can't have been outdone earlier, right? Like, let's say here's the line, right? You go here, and then here. Like, the one down here isn't gonna hit as much. Not saying it'll be bad, but it's not going to hit as much because it's been done more extreme before. You have to constantly build up and then hit that super moment. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm hoping I don't sound like a fake intellectual Rick and Morty fan.
I mean, we are all armchair physicists and psychologists and all whatnot on this show. But hey, no, I think also absurdity has to do with the format as well. Because if you're like in 2D, as in like cartoons and whatnot, you're allowed to be absurd because, you know, it's a cartoon.
You can do whatever, yeah.
But if it's like
I think that's what.
Yeah.
I was about to say that I think that's why it hits a lot harder in live action because it's a lot harder to do.
Oh yeah,
Straight
definitely.
up.
Yeah, you have to like, physics obviously, right? But like,
Hmm.
um, I don't think, maybe I don't know, but like if Sunny was 2D, I don't think like Charlie fucking eating up Santa would be as funny
It wouldn't hit as hard, yeah.
because it's like, oh, you can animate that easily. Like, who cares? Because you can make anything in 2D almost. I also that also probably is why Sunny does so well because I was watching the first two seasons right a few days ago,
Hmm.
and I was like nothing feels like It doesn't feel like acting. It feels pretty real.
Yeah, it feels so that they're so good with well because both Rob, Glenn, and Charlie, Rob McElhenney, Glenn Howerton, and Charlie Day, they were all like friends
Yeah,
before they've made Sunny.
yeah, yeah.
So they already have that kind of they can bounce off of each other that well, and I feel like it definitely helped that in the first season, um, Dee or Kaylin Olsen, she played the kind of the straight man to
Hmm.
everybody's insanity. She obviously later on became
Just as
insane,
insane,
like,
yeah.
but I think it was a little bit of a blessing in disguise because it allowed her to Caitlin Olsen to kind of learn the chemistry and then go insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 no. Like the fucking moment when Mac walks up to those black guys in the campus and whatnot.
The first episode,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just, I was like, oh, I can barely watch this. It's so horrible. But no, the payoff is fucking amazing.
That's the thing with terrible characters too, is that people around them have to react realistically, or else they're just doing terrible things, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's like it's like if Cartman from South Park wouldn't, if nobody was like, what the fuck, Cartman, you're killing people, you're fucking like doing
Yeah,
whatever.
you
Like
do
what the
terrible
hell?
things. Yeah, like that's the people's problems with stuff like, I guess, what's that stupid indie game like the Coffin of
The fucking
who gives
incest,
shit
the
and
incest
yeah,
one?
yeah, exactly. The reason why people were having problems with that wasn't because of the what happened. It was because that it was seemingly glorified. From what I've heard, is that it was
Glorified?
seemingly glorified. I'm not sure glorified, but it wasn't exactly stated that it was wrong. It just kind of.
Oh, it was played as a
Um,
joke in that game, or
I don't exactly know, but all I know is that it wasn't it wasn't shown as bad. From what I've heard, it wasn't shown as like a bad thing. I've only heard that it's like you're cannibals and murderers, and
hmm.
it's like a codependence kind of thing. Which I mean, again, that could have worked. Like it could have worked if they just maybe removed that optional ending. I think it would have been better because wrong.
It is wrong
You
to.
don't want to be a McCoy, do you?
What's it like making a video anyway? Like for your yokai and your showman and whatnot.
Um, I guess like what I've learned from the Gacha game video specifically is that I have to really, really care about the topic I'm talking about. And I'm not saying that I don't really care about Gacha games, but it's not my thing. It really isn't. Like with Yokai Watch and gamers and I guess Showman Sample, I've had like fucking like a long, long time to have like this shit brew
Yeah.
in my brain. Well, I mean, gamers and Showman Sample, I have had years to think about this, but not necessarily Yokai Watch. But I think it was because they they have been things that I've known about for years,
Hmm.
you know. So they've been able to brew in my mind, and that's the thing is that I'm watching a lot of videos of people who like upload shit like weekly of like many topics that go on for like an hour or something like that. I'm like, how the fuck are you doing that?
I maybe they're on. I mean, they might be ahead of schedule, as in like, because like, when I did my, okay, for people who are watching, if you've seen my Fortnite daily stopping train videos, it's all a joke. I don't care about it, but on a Monday that I started doing it before or around Christmas time, I was like, this is easy. So I booted up Fortnite. I went on there, and like I did a bunch of stuff. I just recorded like me crashing into the train, shooting the train, whatever I did. And like in one day, I had like 7 clips ready.
something. Yeah.
So that's why it was so easy to push it out, because it's like I just switched my skin to make it look different. Smart idea, by the way. Um, yeah, it's like if you are ahead of schedule, you can probably afford more time like that if it's an easy format, I guess. But then again, mine were like 7 seconds long, and if you compare the videos right to another one, you will see that the text is exactly the same, like it fades out exactly the same, like whatnot. The video is exactly as long as the other ones, right? Just because I just switch out the text and the audio file and the video file, and I render it like that. That's how I did it, right? To save time, I guess. But do you say they make like an hour long, like every week?
Let me look up really quick. Turkey Tom specifically.
That man. Ugh.
Okay, I'm a Turkey Tom head a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, so an hour-long video was posted yesterday. Then 10 days ago, an hour-long video. Then 2 weeks ago, 2 hours. 3 weeks ago, 50 minutes. Another week goes by, 50 minutes.
Like, I don't know how the fuck you guys do this shit. Like,
God.
like not even necessarily like on the grind, because like I get it, if you're editing every day, you're script writing every day, yeah, I understand that your workload would be a lot more than one video every half a year, because I'm very lazy.
I mean, AI scripting is big nowadays. I guess they might be using that, right?
Hope not, because then like basic information can be wrong,
That is true. That's the thing. But like if you think about it, it's like I need to make a script, and it's like you ask ChatGPT, it's like make me a script about this, right? But that would be kind of hard to do anyway, I guess, because it's like you have you have notes you want to talk about and whatnot. So I mean, not that scripting takes that long, but a good script takes a decent time.
Good while.
Yeah. Because I spent like like a week maybe on my script for my Spyro stuff.
I know people like Illuminati. They like
Ooh,
the whole
Illuminati. Ooh. Controversial topic.
She like unironically plagiarized. And I'm not saying Turkey Tom plagiarizes. I'm not saying that. I'm
Disclaimer.
Tom,
Disclaimer.
Turkey Tom. Okay. All right. I love me some Turkey Tom. Mm-hmm. He's a funny man. I know he has people help him write the scripts. So it's not just him. So I'm sure that's definitely into play. I feel like it kind of loses a little bit of the personality.
That's true, because I feel like I guess it's fine if you have like people who check your script.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what do you think about my script and whatnot, like this joke or whatever. It's like, sure, fine, test audience or whatnot. But if it's like, here, write this part of the script for me, thank you. It'll be a bit different, definitely. What's your process of making a video anyway?
It kind of just like let's bring up the draft. I'm saying we gotta do that really quick. So I guess I have a game or something I want to talk about. I play through or watch through it. Yeah. I've probably played through or watched through it at some point in the past, so I already have like ideas on what I want to talk about.
Oh, so you already played most of the games that you like review?
Not the gacha games, other than Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else I've played for the first time.
Oh, okay.
But Yokai Watch, obviously, I played as a child.
Yeah.
But usually, if it's something I'm making a video about, I want it. I know I want it to be something that I've like known about or watched about multiple times. So I really know what I want to talk about and what I want to address, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that, and then I watch it again. Usually with friends around. I'll watch it or play it again with friends around, just so I can get like funny banter. It won't like it's not funny banter. There you go. And then I guess I kind of just started writing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that, like, I try not to do like if I have to do segments, I'll write it in segments, and if I'm struggling with a bit, I'll just skip it and come back to it later.
Oh, segments. What do you mean by segments?
Like if I'm talking about characters, that'll be a segment. If I'm talking about episodes itself or specific game, that's what I mean by segments.
Yeah.
And usually I'll have a friend check every so often. I feel really pretentious right now.
What for? Being on a talk show?
But and I'll usually have friends check every so often. And then when I'm finished, I have one final check. Like I'll read it out to somebody usually. I usually like to do that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then-
You like you all of a sudden you start talking like this whole like it's like a whole different being comes into existence and he just talks and I'm like, what the fuck is he on about? And then like as you know, as the script goes on, I'm like, oh, he's talking out of a script. So I was like, okay, now I get it.
Usually, around the starting process of making the video, I want to have a live action bit, so I'll think about that.
Because I remember your the gotcha live action part where like the camera like falls from the sky kind of feel.
Yeah.
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 I was like, this looks good. Like obviously it's you know me. I think a bipod does will be a tripod I guess, but does Sunny like use like tripods and whatnot like still shots or do they like hold the camera? Because I guess it depends on the shot.
I'd have to look at more behind the scenes, but I think it's a combination.
You know,
It really
because I
depends on the setting.
I don't know, like, I mean, obviously I'm not a fucking photographer or whatever, but I feel like, thinking about it, I don't like the idea of like a shaky camera, but I get it if it's like a, you know, you can't have a linear thing or whatever, like, it kind of depends on the scene, I guess, right? That's the whole thing. It's like you have to try over and over again, but that's kind of what's cool about animating, considering that I'm getting into 3D graphics. It's like, you know, whatever you learn, it's a good value. It's of good productive value, hence the name.
Yeah.
You know, this is a learning channel. Hey kids.
I think with shaky cameras actually, I think
it works in fight scenes. It works in fight scene because
that too, definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm not too much of an office guy, but I think the shaky cameras adds to that kind of. It adds to the improv nature, or like the this actually is some sort of weird documentary thing. So I think in that regard, it's a smart thing.
You have to like really think about it. It's like it's not a huge detail, but it's like it's kind of like every small detail along the way kind of makes the bigger picture.
Adds to it.
Yeah. I feel like if you let kids write a script or dialogue, and it's like obviously when you like, you know, they like it, right? Because they're kids and whatnot, I'd say.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, if our server, right, if we made like a dialogue scene or whatever, we would like have a lot of inside jokes probably that we kind of don't think about.
Or at least, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like people outside of it probably won't laugh at it as much as we did. And I think maybe that's a good joke will make anyone laugh, right? But like I think
Of course.
if it's like a joke that makes you laugh as a writer, as you're writing it out, you're like, haha, this is funny. Or like you put in the joke for somebody else, like if I put Colin in a, you know, little corner over there and like as a PNG, like probably only the server will laugh because like, haha, it's Colin. But new people who are watching or listening, you know, they're like, who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck?
And it's like, I think what I'm trying to say is like, you should probably be careful to not like make a joke that it's like it's funny, but only because, you know, you're thinking about it in a certain way, and it's not because of the plot. It's funny, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be. That's what sucks about like jokes that age too.
Oh,
Because,
definitely,
like,
yeah.
They can only be after like a year. It's over.
Yeah, no, it's like when you like if you look back at it, you're like, oh, I made that joke. Oh, fuck, it sucks, you know, whatever, like that.
I mean, that's the thing. Is that sometimes like references and stuff like that can be relatively timeless as long as you play your cards right.
Yeah, you have to
Because,
think about
like-
what. You have to think about what it is, and if it's, I'd say if it's like a logo, maybe, that will probably change over time. But like if it's like, I'm just pulling out an example out of my ass. If it's Family Guy, they will probably, you know, show the logo anyway to fucking push the joke onto you. But if it's more like I'm referencing a logo without, you know, showing it at all, then it's like people will laugh at it at that time probably, but like if it changes down the line, the joke kind of disappears if nobody really remembers the logo.
You've seen the clip of Family Guy where they're talking about the whole fruit ad, right?
No, I have not.
So it's kind of similar to what you were talking about, where they parodied an advertisement from fucking years ago
Yeah.
that had to do with jelly, and there's a bunch of fancy people like, please pass the whole fruit, and then I got my whole fruit on my fucking toast. And then Peter says, oh, please pass the jelly, and then everybody has a stroke and dies. And then Peter's like, hey guys, here at Peter Family Guy Incorporated, we think our younger audience won't get this a commercial from the fucking 80s because they're 10 and not 100.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're like, let's go through the real ad right now. And then they play the whole ad again.
that works as a joke, but like, damn. It feels kind of like, ugh.
Just to extend it a bit longer.
Yeah, no, that's the thing about punchlines. It's called literally a punchline. It's not like a battering line. You can't really, you could obviously add on to a joke and like make it fun, like not funnier, but like escalate the situation, for example.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the whole thing. It's like you get a giggle, then you get a laugh, and then eventually you're like fucking dying of laughter. But you have to like not, what's it called? Maybe sell too much, for the first 2 lines or whatever you're doing. Yeah, definitely not like keep adding on to it.
Definitely have some breathing room.
Yeah, no, you have to have breathing room. I was worried about that with my the fucking joke where I put Bryan Cranston. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of course I know what you're talking about. What the fuck? Jamie, pull that up now.
Jamie, pull up the gaslighting document. No, the fucking Spyro video. I put the Bryan Cranston image, and I think I had a completely different idea for a joke that I was making at that time, and like while I was editing the video, because sometimes the jokes kind of just write themselves as as they're happening or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you have a script and you're like, oh, like I need this image, but then you find a funnier image. So if you out there, if you're ever doubting if you should put, because it's like you have jokes, you have kind of written out and you're making them, but then like an image shows up and you're like, this is too funny to pass, right? Like just I'd say, if you think it's funny, like it's just that funny, you can't stop thinking about it, go ahead, do it, right? But like I had no intention of expanding that Bryan Cranston joke, like fucking bald cancer-ridden Bryan Cranston that fucking far. And when you told me to like flash the text on the first one, I was like, okay, no, this is it. I have to make this fucking joke. And then it just came back, and like I really loved that section of the video, like all the way at the end.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel bad because it was all the way at the end of the video, so I was like, there are so many people that probably would have found that fucking hilarious, but like
they're not gonna
see it. Do you ever feel that way about like jokes or like points in the video where like we're too far in the video, like this is not a selling point anymore, really?
I mean, if I want to make a joke or something like that, I'll do it anyways. Because that is a problem that I'm thinking of like, I definitely want to make this start. You definitely want to make the start a lot more engaging, and sometimes I'm like, I mean, we ball. Like it. Like obviously, I want to make the whole video entertaining. That's the main. That's a problem that I think I have, is that I want to make the whole thing the whole experience to be enjoyable. I don't want too much to drag on.
I mean, I got a comment the other, the fucking Pavel the Bug fan. Count your days, bro. You probably already know, but he commented like, takes too long to get to the point, and I was like, that doesn't really help me, sadly, because I'm all for criticism, right? Like I've been a little bitch before online, where I think I'm giving out criticism, but I'm really not. I'm just being an asshole. I had a few debacles back in my day, but that's all past.
Good year, though.
But yeah, no, I was like, what point? Like about the game, talking about the game, or like reviewing the game? Because I'd say a lot of people probably expect in a review it's like 10 out of 10 or whatever, right? You know, like the whole scoring thing.
Yeah, and you didn't do this or anything.
I did not. Do you score?
I didn't.
No.
I don't like scoring.
What would you say is the biggest fault of game reviewers nowadays? Like the whole Scott the Woz angry.
I don't think Scott the Woz. I like Scott the Woz's videos. I just think that
they're not bad,
people
though.
who try to imitate him are just not that funny. Like like I can watch a Scott video and he'll make me laugh. Like he's really good at like physical comedy. He's good at kind of like taking a joke in a different direction. He's good. He's really good, right? But I think people that try to imitate him or use his style of humor, I don't know what they're missing, but it just doesn't hit the same.
You know, it's funny because like I like to like at least now that I make or at least plan to make more videos, especially with the now that we're gonna do the Let's Play and whatnot. Like I really think about like I kind of look a lot more into people. I'm very cynical anyway, but I'm also kind of critical. I'm a grumpy old man. Yes, I am. Old fart over here. Like when I looked at Ant Dude, and I was like, every single time, every joke he makes, he has like this extended period. It's like like family not cutaway gags, but like when they have a scene and they don't know how to like end it properly. It's just something going on, and it's silence for a while, and then it just cuts to like the outside of the house, and it's like and I'm like, that's
like family. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not awkward. It's just kind of funny, like not for the right reasons, obviously, unless it is very much intentional. But it's kind of hard to pull off that like awkward, intentional thing, if you know what I mean, where it's like a long cutoff.
Yeah.
Because it's also personal interpretation, I guess. So I could be wrong. I'm a grumpy old man after all. Let's hear some tips from like production tips from you, like productivity wise, not just like editing tips and whatnot, but like what keeps you going. What do you think is important?
I guess just genuine interest.
That's a big one. Yeah, no, definitely.
Like I've seen some people do YouTube specifically for the money, and that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Because it is like the most sporadic thing. Like a lot can change in a little bit, but I've seen videos where people are like, YouTube is very competitive, and I'm sure it is. But I feel like as long as you're making videos for yourself, you'll be fine.
Maybe not as much for yourself, but as like something you want to give to the people, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
I've
always wanted to be an entertainer in a way, right? Not necessarily. It's kind of hard because I'm very anxious myself, social anxiety guy.
Storytime animator.
Yeah. Storytime animator.
But also, like, I feel like don't really. This is very just honest to God. Don't worry about being a perfectionist.
Oh yeah, no, it's do the best that you can with what you have, and don't obviously I guess fixate on like imperfections. Definitely not. I mean, I guess like quality control and whatnot is kind of something you have to do on your own. Like for example, in my Garfield party video, I realized at the end for some reason, I don't know what made me do it, but like at the end, when Dante loses his fucking mind, I had this problem where I faded out some stuff too quickly and whatnot, and like didn't edit the images correctly, or PNGs, so it looks kind of fucked up, and I was like, I really uploaded this? No. But I was like, whatever. It's not like it ruins the video. Personally, I'm more of a audio kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
If it's obviously by my microphone, you can tell here.
This headset's fucking killing me.
Is it really killing you that much?
I feel like I'm entering the Sword Art Online world.
Yeah, I guess that's it for this episode or first episode of. Are you greedying? Are you? You're a fucking you bastard.
Come back next 2 weeks for the next episode of Productive Value,
Hell
starring your host Matrix and who the fuck's gonna be on next?
Maybe Graylin. You know what?
Maybe
Hey,
Graylin.
Linechu, if you see this, I invite you onto the show. Yeah, that's right,
Can I be
Linechu.
on that one? I want to be on that one.
Hell yeah, dude.
Plugging my headset now.
You're still in the fucking game, funnily enough.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, if you haven't shut down your thing, I can maybe kick you.
I did shut it down.
Oh, there you go. I kicked you just now.
Might be on like a weird standby thing.
Oh, fuck.